Sahana bhavatu, Sahano bhunaktu, Sahaviryamkaravavahai, Tejasvinavadhetamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti. Of destiny. Destiny is decided by the aggregate of all your past actions. Total of all your past actions put together. Actions in the sense, actions at the level of thought and at the level of expression. Expressions is said in two forms. One is physical performance of action, another one is the speech. What we say, what we speak. So all three put together. So the aggregate of all your past actions is your present destiny. So destiny is referred as fate accompli. This is predestined. It is fixed. Now, the moment we say it is fixed, immediately we need to ask this question, fixed by whom? Who fixed it? This is where problem comes. It is fixed, nobody asks that any quick question. But the problem comes is only when we probe into by whom. Is it fixed by God? At the time of birth itself, we will say, no, Brahma has written what all you are going to go through on your forehead. And immediately, in those days, people used to ask, how can you write all that in such a small one? Now people have a scientific explanation for that. What? One small pencil like can carry hundreds and thousands of GB information. If this can carry, you say, why not such a big forehead carry so much of information? Brahma has written whole thing in this one. And then we think, oh, that's a very scientific explanation. No scientific, I can't understand that. Written, the problem is, it is not written by Brahma. He is not the one who is going to sit and write for everyone. He is not a script writer. For each one, you have to go through this, you have to go through this, you have to go through this. He is not the author, please. Then who decides? Then what decides? Horoscope decides, sir. Next one, say, the planetary positions decides your destiny. What is supposed to be happening to you? Immediately they go to astrology. Is it determined by that? Vedanta says no. It is not decided by God. It is not decided by the planets, this grahas, this astrology. Then what? Your own actions. It is written by whom? By you. You have written it. But the problem we have is, we wrote it in the past. Means, if you go backwards, you will not remember anything. And you forget. One problem. Another problem is today when we are going through the things, we cannot establish the link because of the time lapse. The time has passed, because of which we are not able to link it up. That's the cause, this is the effect. So whatever you are experiencing today is the creation of your own past. Your own past, your own thoughts that you have entertained, the interactions that you have had with people, the conversations that you had, had, or one action, two actions here, three actions there, that, random actions you perform. So those random actions, words that were spoken, because speech is also treated as organ of action only. So you say things, and then you forget that you have said it, right? And then the other person, when the consequence comes, this is where the problem comes to all of us. Is it you yourself? So what we have to understand is, it is my own creation. What I experience is my own creation. This is the most difficult part of law of destiny. See, the difficulty with the law of destiny is only this part. It is fixed. That way we don't have a problem. To own up the responsibility on yourself, to say that it is me who has created it. How, when, that's where this knowledge comes and helps us. Whatever the case, the law is impeccable. It will function. No matter whether you understand or you don't understand, the law doesn't care. Right? Now we have the option of following the law with understanding or following the law without understanding. See, whether you accept or you don't accept, law is not worried. It will function. Whether you approve of it or you disapprove of it, it will function. Now, when it is functioning, what are you going to do? You have a choice. What is the choice you have? If you understand and follow, you get freedom, liberation. If you don't understand and follow, you feel you are a victim. See, like, give a example is this. It's a very weird equation here. More you earn, more you are taxed, isn't it? As though the government is telling what? Don't earn. Right? If you earn, I will penalize you for earning more money. Now we feel it is a punishment, isn't it? Government is punishing me for earning more, is the understanding of people. That is where we give tax evasion, this, that, all those things, in fact. All this, how to avoid tax, how to minimize tax. And then we call it as good tax planning system, sir. You have a good tax planning. And then we rationalize and say, yeah. Tax planning is okay, but tax evasion is only wrong. But even in tax planning, what are you trying to do? You're trying to reduce the tax I have to pay to the government. Right? Now, whether you understand or you don't understand, tax you have to pay. Otherwise, you will be penalized. Of course, I'm talking about in a limited sense, okay? In a proper system. Now here you can avoid that also, right? You can keep escaping, and simply get out also, in fact. But that option you don't have when it comes to law of destiny. There is no escape route here. Here we have an escape route. You can, all your lifetime, you don't have to pay any tax and live life also. Comfortably, you could have lived by doing this, doing that, doing this, doing that, diverting here, diverting there. Something can be done, with your power and your contacts. It is possible, but you don't have anything when it comes to law of destiny. See, it is fixed. You can't do anything there. You can't negotiate. You will be paid. Now, when you are paying tax, why that system? More the earning, more taxed. Why? See, paying tax is for what? Why we have to pay tax to the government? Why is it that when you give donation to a trust, you are given a tax exemption? You are exempted from tax when you give it to an NGO or to a trust or a society, some charitable or some Prime Minister's relief fund, state, central, somewhere, when you pay, when you give donations and all those things, you are given a tax relief. Why the government is giving it to you? Why we have to pay tax? Tax is a way of showing your social responsibility. You see, when you understand that it is my social responsibility that I am executing and I pay tax, you will not be asking your chartered accountant how to reduce tax. You will say, find out ways and means in which I can pay little more tax. Little more tax. I'll pay full tax. Now, why? What is that we do there? It is a way of sharing, the way in which you own up certain responsibilities. The assumption is when you are earning more, you are in a higher pedestal. When you are in a higher pedestal, your ability to see is more. When your ability to see, you're conscious of a lot of things. You're alert enough to recognize certain things. So when you are alert, what is the proof of your alertness? Is how you are able to recognize the things. So when you pay tax with this understanding, paying tax is what? There's no necessity for the government to keep sending reminder mails to you. Please pay tax, please pay tax. In a country of 135 crores, how many are taxpayers? If you see, percentages looks, ridiculous percentage. Why? Because we feel it is a penalization. Government is unfair. What is that unfairness? You have not understood. If you understand the system, it facilitates you to follow that system better. Happily you can live. And after that, there is no necessity for us to get into any one of this. That is why wherever we are having more trusts, societies, NGOs, all those things. What is the meaning of that? Meaning is this: what is the work the government is supposed to be doing, it is not doing. Government is not able to, the state is not able to perform its obligations for whatever reason, and I am volunteering to do that work for which this man is supporting me financially. Therefore, the government says what? I will give tax benefit to this man. And to me also, that government gives a tax benefit. What is it? Since you are doing the work which I am supposed to be doing, so whenever we have more of these things, the implication is what? Implication is government is not doing what it is supposed to be doing. At least we are saying that. The government is agreeing or not, the state is agreeing or not is not the point. Better than state, government is a state word. Whether the state agrees or not is a different thing. But we keep saying that. That is why we start. And then say what? I will do service to the society. What service you are going to do is what the state would have done better than you, if the state would be having the resources to it. I give my resources there. I am diverting it from there to here. Therefore, the government says what? I will give you a benefit. That is called tax benefits that you get from the government for giving donations. Why? Now, immediately you have to go back to the basic principle. Same way, when you come here, I have to pay tax. You can't exempt. You don't have a choice. When you pay the tax, this is the way in which I execute my social responsibility. Tax is a form of social responsibility. Greater the earning, understanding is you are a superior person with better capabilities, better strengths, better opportunities, more intelligence. Since you are enjoying those things, create a system through which let us share that with others also, for which we have a state, that state is doing it. The moment you understand that, your ability to follow, and every time you pay tax, the day you have filed your returns, how you will feel. And when you file your returns, 31st March only you go on file. I say, why do you have to wait till the last date? Previous year's accounts only you have to submit next year, right? By then you would have finished all your transactions, right? You have all the records with you. Then why do you have to wait till the last minute? Why do you keep postponing it? Why we do that? Because we feel pain. When you pay tax, you feel, why the hell I have to pay tax? And every time budget speech, only thing we look out is what? And every year budget speech, they keep on increasing for 2-3 products. Definitely tax will be increased. What are they? Addicted products, to which you got addicted to. No matter how much they put tax, no matter what the price is, you will consume it. Other products, they don't. Very, very much. Every year, every budget you see, it goes on increasing. But they don't stop. Why? Addiction. No choice. Today, are we able to pay that? That's what we ask. How people see it. And any time, once you understand this, even if someone were to come and offer you a possibility where you can evade, you can avoid, you immediately understand, you tell him what? Will you fall? Somebody comes and tempts you. You say no. You don't fall for the temptations. You see, your ability to stand up. Like Christ said, get thee behind me, Satan. I'll have nothing from thy hands. You see, like that, you would have that courage and conviction. Now, the moment you own up the responsibility here, that very understanding that I am responsible for what I am experiencing today. By what? By my own actions in the past. The only problem is what? Which action in the past has resulted in this current experience of mine. This experiences of mine were classified into two categories. One is palatable experiences I go through, pleasurable experiences I have, or unpalatable and painful experiences I go through. Painful experience means what? Experience which I do not want to go through again and again and again. That's the meaning of painful experience. What is pleasure? What is pain? Pleasure means any experience that you want a repetition of it. That is a pleasure, very happy experience to you. You want that to be repeated. Painful means you don't want that to be repeated. See, that is the meaning of pleasure and pain. Now, the experience which you enjoy, there the point is, those experiences were the result of your own past actions. That one word these people have given is punya. For all that painful experiences that you go through, they have given a word called papa, sin. Merit and demerit. Punya and papa. So, right now, I have a things. What is my balance now? The current balance. That's what he gives here as your bank balance. That in the past, if I have made investments, now my balance will show credit. In the past, I have been only withdrawing, then my current balance will show negative. Right? The negative balance is what is known as papa. The positive balance is known as punya. Just these two words, remember. Like we use in the accounts, debit and credit, assets and liabilities, deposits and withdrawals. That's all. It's like that we have these two words, punya and papa. And remember, how can you say there is punya, there is papa, sir? You cannot know that directly, but you can understand the presence of punya and papa through its manifestations. Exactly like, till date, nobody has seen autumn. Okay. Nobody has seen autumn. This is autumn, sir. Nobody has seen it. But by the effects of that, we are able to understand the existence of autumn. isn't it? From the effects, we are able to understand. For that effect, we have given a name called autumn. See, you can't deny the effects. The effects cannot be denied. That's the real. You can change the word. Instead of autumn, you give another name for it. Another name. In another language, you give another name. In Sanskrit, we say anu. Means smallest part, atom. Atom is not known as anu. We say smallest part. Right? So each one can give one name in one language. But however, you can't deny the existence of that thing. Why? Because if it produces the effect. Similarly, existence of punya and papa is inferred through the effects of it. What is effect? The pleasurable experiences of mind and the painful experiences of mind. Now, immediately we get into one doubt. Sir, pleasure pain keeps on happening in my life. Now, how am I to assess? Is a don't take a random experience of yours or a specific experience of yours. Don't take a singular experience and try to understand. Because this action, cause and effect is not operating in isolation. One cause, one effect, one cause, one effect, one cause, one effect, one cause, one effect. It doesn't work like that. Remember. You see, it's not happening in isolation. It works in aggregate. How that happens, sir? Wherever you see a repetitive pattern of something happening, certain things happening at a particular cycle, like just happens again, sir. This and then again this happens. Again this happens. If you see a pattern of repetition, which is positively happening to you, we understand what? In the past, deposits have done. I have made deposits. If this pattern were to be showing negative, repeatedly it's negative happening. Sir, one fellow told me, people join my company, sir. They stay with me. After 4 years, they leave. As though by appointment, 4.5 years, they leave. Nobody stays. And no one is. Why this is? You see, I train that person, I bring him, he is a raw guy, I bring him to my organization, I train him, my competitor simply picks him and goes away. Then again, I go through the whole process of inducting someone, I recruit that fellow, train him, but another company takes him away. Another company takes him, another company takes. This is the pattern in which this been happening. Like maid servant in the house. Sir, no maid servant stays in our house more than 3 years, 4 years. Repeatedly it's happening, sir. Every, like recession, they say in economy, every 7 years there is a recession. Repetition, no? There is a pattern. You see that pattern happening again and again and again. To which, to recognize that pattern, you need acute alertness. Remember, you see, to register that repetition, when you are going in that circle, after a point, what will happen? You get chakkar, you get that giddiness. in that giddiness, you will not be even able to register what is happening. Only there you go into that investigation. You see, if you see a pattern, repetition, something happening in different fields of my life, sir, in various aspects of my life, I see a pattern. Only then you can understand this is the effect. But what is so difficult for us to understand is the cause is only me. That is the most difficult part. Why? Because we have seen that earlier. Human being, you are with reference to cause, effect. Two aspects are there. In cause and in law of causation, there are two aspects: cause, effect, cause, effect, cause, effect. So, as an effect, as an individual who is receiving the consequences, what option you have? You have only option to experience, to receive the consequence. You do not have a choice. I don't want to receive it, you can't say. See, the problem is this. When I am receiving the consequence only, I start questioning. That too, when I am receiving a negative consequence. When I receive a positive consequence, we never ask this question. Inquiry comes into picture only when we have the negative one. In positive, none of us questioned. We just, live our life. To go through that negative, unpalatable experience without throwing the responsibility on any external agencies, and to own up that responsibility for that effect, you need the understanding. What is that? It is my own actions in the past. My own past actions in the form of what? Not just in the form of this, in the form of thoughts that I have entertained. Remember, it is not just the action in law of karma, in law of destiny. In this dimension, the weightage that is given for thoughts is far more than the weightage that we give for your actions and words. In terms of weightage, if you take, least value is given to action. Slightly more weightage is to the words that you speak. Deciding factor, if you ask, it is the thoughts that you entertain. And we entertain thoughts in the past so casually, so irresponsibly. We really don't pay much attention to the thoughts that we are entertaining. Are we conscious of the thoughts that we've been entertaining? Just imagine, before the class, okay, maybe now you can say, sir, I am attending to what you are speaking. Just before the class, 10 minutes, what all the thoughts that has crossed your mind? In a day, how many thoughts had crossed in your mind? Average, they say, is 47,000 thoughts. Average. I don't know on what basis they made the calculation and all that, but something like that. I have no idea. I just heard one of my, colleague from the other, group had told me, that it's like 47,000 thoughts per day. Average human entertains. Now, 47,000 thoughts you have invested. It is exactly like your systematic investment plan. Imagine every day you are investing on various funds. 1 rupee. You are having about 10 different funds, let's say, and you are investing 47,000 divided by, which means you are investing around 47,000 rupees every day. 47,000 rupees if you are to be investing every day from your childhood. I'm not counting your last janma and all those things, because we have not yet come to that portion. You see, reincarnation we have not yet come to. But as far as law of destiny is concerned, it includes your last janmas also. All that you have made investments. Your thoughts have been invested so heavily on things. And in the past, when you were entertaining those thoughts, did you entertain them with understanding of what consequence this thought is going to lead to? Where it is going to lead you to? Did you know this? There. Imagine, first day when you are told about Vedanta class, somebody told you Vedanta class and you attended Vedanta class. You started. Did you ever consider that one thought would have led me today to this position, wherever you are, positive or negative? I don't care. You are praising this knowledge or you are cursing this knowledge, it doesn't make any difference. Did you ever consider that I will be in this position? This is where it is going to lead me to. Can you? Do you have that penetrative capacity to foresee where it is going to land you to? Now, everyone who got addicted to smoking never thought that he is going to get addicted to smoking when he picked up that smoke first day. Isn't it? Nobody picks up a cigarette, or nobody picks up to, takes to drugs, or nobody takes to alcohol and things like that. No one would have thought that I'm going to get addicted to it. Even when you take coffee, you never thought you are going to get addicted to coffee. Now, when you are addicted to coffee, you have not yet recognized that you are already addicted to coffee. And then the fellow who is addicted to coffee talks about alcohol addiction, very bad. I say addiction is addiction. No, what difference does it make? Whether you are getting addicted to alcohol or you are getting addicted to coffee. But of course, addicted to coffee, what impact it has on your body, what impact it has on your purse, economics, what impact it can have on your social relationships, what impact it can have with reference to your business, your brain, your body. I'm not talking about that part. I say, philosophically, addiction is addiction, no matter what. To what you get addicted to. You can get addicted to a newspaper. I've seen people reading yesterday's newspaper. Where Allah, I can't say. Otherwise he cannot. So when he goes in the morning, he needs a paper. And they said, sir, yesterday was Ayudha Puja. Therefore, all these newspapers are all holiday. So there's no paper today. Abriya, sorry, get me previous day's paper. What he does, this is called addiction. When you are reading newspaper, have you ever thought that you are addicted? Never think. You get a child and say, this is my child. What is in the child is yours. You see, you don't understand how this thought, this is my child, right? The thought the parent has, genuinely they entertain the thought, this is my child, this is my child, this is my child, this is my child, this is my child. That's why you ask all the parents in the world, if they were to have a weighing scale of the affection parents have towards the child versus the child's affection towards the parent. Always the scale will be from the heavier on the parent side. Why? Attachment is more this side. This side. Why? Because of this systematic investment plan was started so early. It's like a person who is entering the market late and the person who has entered the market early. And what happens? First 2 years, your investment grows only this much. Third year only this much. 5 years only this much. 10th year you see suddenly it has grown double the size. And then what? It grows double the size and then double the size and double the size. Longer you stay in the market, greater the returns. Right? No. Law of destiny. You have stayed in the market of negative thoughts. Today you are having to pay heavy price for that. What is a negative thought? My child is a negative thought. The attachment is the negative thought. This is mine. What is mine? The body is created by you. Correct. It is absurd. You know the absurdity of this? You go and sit inside the car. The car says, I own you. You are mine. You belong to me. It is more absurd than that is, the car company says, you are them. You belong to them. You buy a Maruti car, Maruti company says, in my assets, who are all there? All your names will be there in their assets. Why? They belong to me, man. Why? Because you are sitting inside the car, no? The car which is manufactured by me. That's what we are saying. When we say this child is my child, is exactly like the car manufacturing company claiming ownership over you, lordship over you. They are housed there. That's about it. More than that, what is that you have? Of course, you have given. This is what mother always feels. Mother says what? I have given my body to house you inside me. Same thing the car says. I have housed you for 9.5 hours of journey. I have housed you. I have protected you. Therefore, when you come outside also, you belong to me. Will you agree? You say, no. Fortunately, cars don't speak to us. That's all. If cars were to have that consciousness, the car also will start claiming ownership over you. You belong to me. My. We never think this is a negative one. Why it is negative one? It is against the truth. It is not in alignment with the reality. It is not in alignment with the truth. What is that? Dharma. This is what is referred as dharma, truth. It is adharmic thought. To entertain attachment is adharmic thought. Therefore, what is dharmic? Leading a dharmic life is to live a life of detachment. What is detachment? The car says, once you get out of me, I have nothing to do with you. You go your way, I go my way. That's it. As long as you are there, you are protected. You are taken care of. All that. And we see that happening in the animal kingdom. Fascinating. A lion pounces in the herd of zebras. And it goes and attacks the calf. And the mother zebra looks at that. And this lion is catching that, tearing open and eating. And this mother zebra, who was nourishing it, nurturing it, doing all those things, looks at that and looks down and starts eating the grass. It's unbelievable. How can you be like that? See, that I'm not saying it is right and wrong and all those things. I'm only saying this is what is happening there. Right? And the tragedy for all of us is, all of us have our own, misconception and bias. The bias most of us have is, we can enjoy a cow grazing the field and eating a grass, whereas we can't enjoy a lion eating its food. This we don't want. This we will change the channel instantly. You say, change it. You can't take it. And you believe you are such a sensitive person. You are such a good fellow. I say, you are mad. He is eating his food and he is eating his food. He is eating the way he is supposed to be eating. He is eating the way he is supposed to be eating. What is your problem there? Who are you to? But the ease with which we can see this is not the ease. It is so interesting. I see this Animal Planet and this National Geography. When this cheetah is chasing a deer, the chase is happening, and I have this as an entertainment. A few videos already been loaded in my YouTube, is there. When someone comes to my house, just for entertainment purpose, what I do is I play that video. And not look at the video, I look at these people. And they all get so tensed. And all of them pray, what? Let it escape. And when it escapes, the sense of relief that they experience is what? Because the problem is what? The problem is, the moment that video starts, instantly they identify with the deer. See, the moment they identify with that, the lion, the cheetah chasing, they feel as though they are chased. Look at this is how we entertain thoughts. I'm only explaining how we entertain thoughts. Because we wonder, sir, when did I sit and thought that negative thoughts? When in my life I have sat and thought, let me incur loss. All the time I am thinking only of profit and profit and profit and profit only. Where I have thought of loss, where I have thought of this, what thought I have entertained. And all of us will say, Ishwaran, maybe you can say I have made a mistake in my actions, but not in my thoughts. Always my intentions are good only. Have you ever seen anyone saying, I have a wrong intention? Even a terrorist who is coming and killing you believes what? He is doing something good. He is for a greater cause. All those people have that same phrase. What is that? Like, this, Julius Caesar, Brutus, after assassinating Caesar, he comes out with his blood and speaks to the congregation, to the public, because the whole public wants Caesar to become the king. Julius Caesar to become the king. So everyone was praising Caesar, Caesar, Caesar. If they get to know that these guys have assassinated him, finished. They can't go live. See, impossible. The mob would have finished them off. So at that time, they brought Brutus, the assassinators brought Brutus, the chief of them, the conspirators. He comes and he speaks to the mob, to the public. And he says, Brutus, the Caesar is my good friend. Remember, not that I loved Caesar less, I loved Rome more. Don't think that I had any grudges against Caesar, but my love for Rome is much more than my love for Caesar. So, for the greater cause, I have sacrificed, I have killed my own friend. It's okay. My action is wrong, but my intention is what? Have you ever seen anyone saying, I am entertaining negative thoughts? People always say, sir, Ishwaran, the word I may use may be wrong. See, the manner in which I have said may be wrong. You see, don't take that. But the meaning that I intended to give, that is never wrong. But law of destiny is brutal. It will not be bothered about your claims. It says you have been negative. And our problem will be, as far back as you go and as deep as you go in your thought process, you will never be able to pinpoint, when did I entertain it? And do you have the choice? Do you have the choice not to go through this current experience of mine? Now, all of us have this point only. So people come and ask, sir, you're supposed to do this at this time. To this priests and all that, they come and always ask these things only. Clarifications. All clarifications to that person is, sir, we are supposed to do this at this time. This is the way we are supposed to do. But of course, I'm supposed to do it like that, but I'm not able to do it. Is there a way out of it? Which means I know that what I am doing is wrong. I'm not supposed to do it. I know that. But I'm asking you, is there a way in the Shastras sanctioned in a particular way so that I can? This is exactly what Trishanku did. See, Trishanku is one of the, person, the king in the Rama's, family. So he was a king. And he went to his Kulaguru, Vasishta. He went and said, sir, I have done all these things, but I know we cannot go to heaven with this body, but You are the one who have studied the Vedas. You know all those things, so many things you know. Is there a way, is there a particular method through which I can go to heaven with this same body? To which Vasishtha said, sorry man, law doesn't, rules don't permit it. Drop the thought. This fellow didn't keep quiet. When Vasishtha said no, he went to Vasishtha's son. Right? Vasishtha had sons. So he went to the sons and said, look here, I asked your father said no, can you do it? It's not that, Trishanku doesn't know. He knows it is wrong. But they go for assistance only for what purpose now? You go to a chartered accountant only for what? Imagine everyone were to take a stand there. Whatever the government says, the tax you have to pay, you'll pay. You don't care. One profession called chartered accountancy will not exist. You see, we don't need chartered accountant after that. He said, we don't want that. He said, how can I circumvent? Teach me to circumvent the consequences and live. Now, law of destiny says you cannot. You have to go through, means you have to go through. Why? Because you have the one in the past, you have executed it. And your argument will be what? In the past, when I was performing that action, when I was entertaining that thought, I did not knew that will lead me to this. I didn't know this, man. The Shastra says, no. You were told. The very first thought that you have entertained, the very first action of yours, law of nature warned you, told you. You did not heed. The first cigarette that you have smoked, your system rebelled against it. Isn't it? It rebelled, no. First time when you took, it told you, don't do it. And then what did you do? You did not heed. You continued. And you forced that habit by repetition. And now you can't say, I was not warned. You see, look at the benefaction. If you understand law of destiny, you will understand the benefaction of nature. Law of destiny is not going to give you a negative feeling. Remember, if you understand law of destiny, you understand the benefaction of nature. How much it has given to you. You are told, but then you didn't heed. You didn't care about it. You said, we'll see that later. When that comes up, at that time, let us see. Right now, enjoy. Why? That is why the scriptures have given you certain things not to do. Certain things should be done. Certain things should not be done. The teachings were given very clearly. What you should do and what you should not do. And what is that we have done in the name of liberal thinking, in the name of philosophical thinking and all those things, we have said, do's and don'ts are all wrong, sir. All do's and don'ts, throw that out. There should not be any mandates. Remember, without the stringent laws of Moses, the love of Christ wouldn't have flowered. In that the rose bushes will grow only in the dirt. It is dirt. The flowering, that the fragrance of the love of Jesus is beautiful. But it is not possible without the roots being penetrative in the dirt. That is why Moses came first, Jesus came next. Later. You need the laws first. And then comes transcending that. Go beyond it. Now, all of us wanted to go beyond it, without it. Circumventing, we wanted to transcend. Transcendence is different. Circumventing is different. Law of karma gives a scope for transcending. Law of destiny tells you, you cannot circumvent. You will be subjected to it. The law is so heartless. Is no exceptions. No exemptions. It doesn't care. See, you have to. This is how everyone has to function. There is a rule. That rules you are being told, you have been taught, you have been given. The scriptures give that. The Shastras are giving us what is to be done, what is not to be done. Nishiddha karma. Certain actions are prohibited actions. These things are prohibited. Prohibited for whom? Certain actions are prohibited for everyone. Certain actions are prohibited for specific. And certain exemptions were given to certain people. Like all vehicles should stop when they see a red light. Except ambulance. Don't say politician. You see? Don't say that. Here it is, ambulance need not stop. Ambulance can enter into a no entry. When a policeman were to be chasing a criminal and a criminal enters into a one-way and goes, what is the police jeep is supposed to do now? Can you say, oh, it is one way, so what are we supposed to do? Go around and come back and catch that fellow? There's an exception. But normally when that same police inspector, when he's going to office or when he's going home, he can't say, I will go through that one way now. No, that will not be allowed. You see, exceptions are there. You see, now when you are functioning in life, there are certain things you are supposed to be doing. There are certain things you are not supposed to be doing. Common and particular. Samanya dharma and Vishesha dharma, they call it as. Routine and specific. Now, who is the authority for that? Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Shastram pramanam te karya vyavastitau. The Shastras are the pramana and Shastras were given to you already. You did not care to refer it. You did not care to follow it. Law of destiny says that is your mistake. So first problem is this. As a person who has entertained such thoughts, actions and all that in the past, when you are entertaining those things, at that point of time, you did not knew. Why? Because of the lack of your intellectual capacity, your intellect's penetrative capacity to foresee where this will lead me to. You simply entertain thoughts. Even when you are given protection by nature, by natural resistance, internally there is a natural resistance, like body has a natural resistance to substances like tobacco and all those things. Your internal subtle body is also having a natural resistance called conscience. Can you hit that conscience? Not possible. You did not. You ignored it completely. Then there is an external policing also being given to you in the form of the scriptural directions. What is to be done, what is not to be done. And we say what? Get lost. All that is primitive. All that is useless. And you did not care to investigate and probe. And what is the classical definition of delusion? The whole world is deluded, he says. Pramoda, says. The Upanishad calls them as Pramoda, is complete delusion. Vimudatma, it says in the Gita. Why? What is that? You come to conclusions in a field where you have never cared to investigate. You come to conclusions. This is correct, this is wrong, this is needed, this is not needed. This is how it has to be done, this is how this is not to be done. These conclusions you come to in life with reference to areas where you are not the authority. Who is the authority? Medical field. What those people say and what you read, what you understand. We just, here, there, here, something you get one information here, one information there, and you Google it, and you don't even have an idea of who is the fellow who has authored it. And then you say some research has been done where you have no idea who has sponsored the research. You see, because there was a time once they said, all that you need is coconut oil is the worst thing to have in the world. Coconut oil now, we are so scared of coconut oil. And no. What is, what is it? What is it oil? Olive oil. Olive oil is the best to have. This. Oh, after that, recently when I went, to country, I saw in Costco there. One section, virgin coconut oil. Full they have. It means, I didn't carry my, phone at that time. Otherwise, I would have taken the picture of that to show to people here. You say, now what is he saying? Coconut oil is the best. My confusion is, who is correct now? Now you say, correct, sir. Coconut oil is the best thing you can have is coconut oil. And then suddenly, now every one of them supported with the research. What we don't pay attention to is who has sponsored that research. Any research material, remember this. Don't go for that. Find out who, not who did the research, who sponsored for that research. That information you will never get. Try. You get that information and then connect it to the research results. You will understand why that result is. You see, this is called penetrative thinking. We never care to pay attention to the details. Now, can you afford to do that? Now, I'm not saying everyone has to do it. Not possible. Therefore, what do? We take in people who have invested their time and energy and their intelligence to unearth certain ideas and give it to us. And when they give it, we subscribe to it. We take it as correct. When it comes to life, when it comes to what is good for human being, what is to be done, what is not to be done, who is the authority? Krishna says, Shastra is the authority. Shakespeare says, to thine own self be true, it must follow as the night the day, thou canst not then be false to any man. Now my confusion is, who is to do? And all of us will be taking to Shakespeare very easily. You see, all of us will say, correct sir, Shakespeare correct. But to thine own self be true. When I say, Tasmat Shastram Pramanam Te Karya Karya Vyavasthitau, he say, no. Shastra I will not listen to. But Shakespeare is correct. Krishna wrong, Shakespeare correct. I'm not saying, Shakespeare is wrong. See, Shakespeare is correct to whom? He is addressing to whom? One thing they forget is one thing he says before that. This above all. Before that, he gives a huge advice. You see, big advice he gives, Polonius advice in Hamlet. The minister gives his son advice. When he is going abroad for education, he gives him an advice. There, he gives this, you do this. All that he says. After following all those things, if you reach a situation where you are not able to find any one of this, then what to do? To thine own self be true, it must follow the night. Not before that. He concludes that with this. He doesn't start with it. See, it is a concluding point. Krishna is starting. Shakespeare is concluding. Now, all of us want a concluding point. Straight we go to final things. It's like saying, let me start my education from PhD. And then I will come to LKG. Allah later stages. First we will do PhD. It is unnatural. See. So what is the difficulty in this is this. You are being given internal reference points, internal signs to show you what is right and what is wrong, what is fine, what is not fine. Right. To externally also you have been told by the Shastras, and you have been given that equipment called intellect to penetrate and foresee the consequences. You did not care to all three. You did not care to develop your intellect. You did not care to be alert enough to register the conscience. You ignored the Shastras also, the scriptural teachings also. And now we say what? I am suffering not because of me. It is because of God, Brahma Libhi sir, or planets, or Vastu, or this, or government, or your neighbor, this one, that one, corruption. All this is the problem. That is the problem. This is the problem. That's the problem. But what I am an angel. I have never entertained any negative thought. And you don't even understand what is negative thought. You, in the wildest of dream, you wouldn't have thought. At least I never thought. My one to claim it is my family. To think like that itself is negative. I say, sir, family means there should be attachment. No, this was my argument. I said, sir, otherwise, what is family then? Family means access to attachment. Yes, that is negative. We don't even understand what is negative, what is positive. Why? Total ignorance called delusion. In that delusive state, when we live, it is very difficult for us to understand how the law of destiny is operating in our life. This is one angle. Okay. We'll see totally a different direction we will take. Next. Okay. See you in the next class.